Over the last 6 years of flipping cars, I've learned that finding good deals is what makes you the most money. Because if you can find a car for a cheap price, you're gonna have no problem making a profit on it. So in this video, we're gonna go over how to find a ton of cheap cars and how to make sure they're deals by comparing them against other ones. And we're gonna read their Carfax reports so we avoid getting scammed. So let's get started. Alrighty, $1,700 for a truck. It does have kinda high miles, but according to them, price is firm, and it doesn't seem like it has any huge problems. Never mind, I was wrong. Transmission doesn't shift properly on its own, so you need to use the manual select, so we won't buy it. If there's ever anything wrong with the transmission and they say it's just a sensor or something, usually it needs a new transmission. But trucks are usually really good because people pay a lot more for them. $600 already, the next one. It has really high miles, but there's a mechanical noise, timing chain, all that stuff. We don't want to deal with that, even though it's so cheap. If you could get it for like $300, obviously it's worth it. And you could literally just junk the car and someone would pay you $600 for it. Honda Civic, $1,800, 1990. It's an old car. Does need some work, motor mounts. It doesn't have too much wrong with it, actually. You can see it's not the best. Like, there's some things definitely that this is missing. It looks like he bought it and he just doesn't want to fix it up. So the problem is when they do that, usually it needs a lot more fixing than it looks like in the listing, so we won't buy this one. Already another really cheap car, pretty good miles on it. Doesn't seem like they say there's any problems, but as we can see, like, that's all messed up. The paint's horrible. The hood's misaligned, so it's probably an accident. There's little dings. The headlights are faded. The wheels are ugly. As you can see, I haven't even checked the pictures. In the first one, you can see just not in the best condition, but obviously it's an $1,000 car. And the seats are ripped, which isn't horrible. You can always fix them. So this one for an $1,000 car, as long as it's running and driving, and that's literally it. $1,000 cars are insanely good deals. You could just fix them up. Obviously, you can see there's some more dents and it's rusting and the hood's not aligned. But this really could be a good deal. I would actually go check it out, and obviously with all these cars, we're going to try and negotiate them down even lower than they want. But usually you can sell these type of cars for like $2,000 or $3,000. Let's keep scrolling and see if we can find anything else. This one right here, $1,500 for a BMW. Let's see what it says. No starting. If they aren't starting, it's not worth it usually, unless you have a trailer, but most people don't. $2,000 for 110,000 miles. That's a great price. Seems pretty good. They obviously have upgraded wheels, which isn't the best to see, but it's not a horrible thing. Things like the armrest being messed up, nobody cares about, and you obviously can fix it. Doesn't cost much. Seems like a pretty good car. You can see the front bumper is a different color a little bit, so it was probably repainted. You can see it's all messed up there. But this one, if you could get it for $1,500, you probably could resell it for $2,500, maybe $3,000. Let's compare it and see if we could resell it for more, or if it's just not the best car. Yeah, these things seem to be going around $2,500. So it's not really, it's kind of priced along with all the other ones. The only thing is it has a little less miles. And so I know some people that will just strictly negotiate for cars, and like, this car's priced normally, but if you can negotiate it down for a good price, it's definitely worth it. And that's their whole thing. It's just negotiating. They don't even care if the car's a good deal. But I always love to look for good deals. Like this one, this could be a good deal. You look for good deals and then you try and get it even lower instead of just negotiating thousands of people and hoping one or two say yes. So right here, let's read the description. New motor only has 83K, and then he put 83K here, meaning the car probably has a lot more miles on it. Maybe 200, 300,000, we don't know. You'd have to ask him or buy a Carfax for it. But they always say new motor and then say the mileage of the new motor and not the car, which is what everybody cares for when you're reselling it. So just because of that, this one's a no. This one, $3.5 million. Let's click on it just to see if they have actual price, what they want for it. They don't have any description. It is a minivan. It's 2013. It looks in pretty good condition. It just needs like the headlights fixed up. But everything looks good on this car. Right here, you can see the miles, which I like to confirm the mileage with the listing because sometimes they're different. So this one, I would actually message this guy because he might have meant $3,500. I'm not sure. I would see how much he wants for it. And this could be a good deal. Everybody loves minivans. It's a pretty nice one too. Right here, this one is just a cheap car, $1,500, 200,000 miles. I really wouldn't deal with this one. You can see he's parked it in a parking lot. It's all scratched up. Yeah, it's not really worth it. Let's see if he says anything in the description about it. Yeah, he doesn't say anything, but what I'm looking for, you can see there's a dealership here or something. And so he's likely a dealer and he's just trying to resell this one for cheap, like off the market, not telling anyone about it really. And we don't like to deal with those type of people. 2014 for $2,000. The mileage is pretty good. Needs significant repairs. Yeah, it has way too much stuff and literally just the transmission problem. It's not worth it. It's $1,000, but cars this old just have tons of problems. As you can see, he already said there's tons of problems. But even cars this old, usually it's just better to go look for another deal. This one says free. Let's see if it's actually free because it was destroyed. Yeah, he says give me offers, so it's not actually free. Sometimes if they're this destroyed, they might actually be giving it away for free, and you could literally just take it to a junkyard and get $500 for it maybe. But this one, he's just asking for offers, so it's not worth even talking to. Here's a Dodge truck. Let's see what it says. Salvage title, we don't like to see that. Salvage title, just a lot of people won't buy, and so it's not as worth it. It looks like a pretty nice car for a pretty cheap price, and I'd actually consider this even though it's a salvage title because of how cheap it is, and it has 200,000 miles. The only problem is it has a paper plate, which means maybe it wasn't able to get registered. We don't know that much about it. But I'd ask this guy for the VIN of the car, buy a Carfax on it, and see if there's anything else wrong with it before deciding if I actually want it. This one, I'm gonna tell you it's a scam. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, he's saying to email them, and when they say to email them, it's always a scam. I kind of can tell because when the pictures just look like this, the license plate's blocked out, it's like a weirdly good picture, but there's only 2 pictures. The description's just really weird. It says it's like $1,200 for a 70,000 mile brand new car. It's obviously a scam, but there's some that are less scammy looking, but are still scams. So you have to watch out for this type of stuff. $800 for a truck. I just want it gone. It won't start. I got new plugs and pumps and computers to wire everything. I just don't want it gone. So this one, I would almost buy it if he just said, I got new plugs and it doesn't work. But then he said computers to wires and all this stuff, meaning it's probably more complex to get it fixed. But if you know how to fix it, it definitely could be a good deal for $800. If you could get it towed away for free, you'll have a trailer, maybe you have AAA, which gives you free tows, stuff like that. Here's an SUV, pretty cheap for miles and everything. The price is firm, which is the only problem. It's not as good to deal with firm prices because then you can't negotiate them down. The seats are probably ripped up. I'd move on to the next one. Sometimes cars like that can be worth it, but there's just so many deals out here to look for, as you can see. This one, a van, a lot of people like these vans. They live in them, they use them for something else. It is salvage, it is firm price, but he says tow away right here, something wrong with the power. It's not gonna be worth it. Really high mileage, but it is cheap price, minor repairs, it's a truck. See, this thing's beat up, but I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the Mexicans like these exact type of trucks, the F-150s, all beat up, nice looking. They can take them to work. You can see the wheels are mismatched. He's just kind of mashed together, but I bet it's running and driving fine. And you probably could sell this for $2,000 or $3,000, like without doing much to it. This says $500. It's a little suspicious. And it says buy for parts usually. Look at that. It's all destroyed. Yeah, we don't want that. $2,000, 90,000 miles, only needs engine. That's a big deal, dude. Toyota RAV4. It is an older one, so not as many people want them. Needs battery, cracking windshield. So I would actually bring a battery to this car because sometimes they'll say it needs a battery when it needs a lot more than a battery. But if it really only needs a battery, it could be worth it for sure. Let's take the listing and let's see what they're going for. A lot of them are going for a lot more money. You can see like 6,000. There is one that's 2,000, has higher miles. This one actually could be a good deal. See, this one's $1,000. Let's check that one out. It has all these problems, it says. So this one actually might be a deal. Let's get a Carfax for it and see what it says on the Carfax to make sure there's nothing huge wrong with it. Here's the Carfax, and by the way, when you're getting a Carfax, as you saw, I zoomed in on the license plate. I always just take the license plate and you can get the Carfax that way, or you could use the VIN, but it tells you the VIN right here if you don't know it. There's a huge thing wrong already, structural damage, which means it's salvaged. Yeah, as you can see, it is an accident, structural damage. That's not actually common to see, but let's see. Yeah, right when it was brand new, it had some huge damage. The thing is, though, listed as a dealer vehicle, so it was probably actually fixed up pretty well because it was brand new and they wanted to keep it pretty nice when selling it. But structural damage can be a big issue. Just looking over the rest of the car, it's had 4 owners. The last owners had it for quite a while, but you can see there's no fixes in between. Like, let's look up here. Vehicle serviced. There's nothing here. So the guy likely did it himself, which isn't the best. And for this car, I would actually go see it, replace the battery. And if it ran fine and drove and asked him a few questions, yeah, we'd have to replace the tire on the back or something. But we might be able to make some good money on this. Because the Carfaxes don't matter as much as long as there's not something huge. Like this says 158,000 miles. Let me go back just to check. Yeah, 150,000 miles, so that's right. But sometimes you'll check here and it'll be like 300,000 and they were just lying in the listing. Or maybe the mileage was rolled back and then that would be a no from us. These things are great work trucks. It looks a little bit expensive, but it does look really nice. The only problem is the price and the miles, which is kind of the whole thing about buying these cars. Right here, I just want to show you it's $800, 180,000 miles, but it looks like there's other cars in the background. Yeah, you can see it's in literally a salvage lot or something, maybe an auction, and it's being towed, so you won't even click on those because you just know there's gonna be a whole bunch of problems. Let's just click on it and see. Got it from an auction, thought it ran, it doesn't run, obviously, yeah, so we don't want it. But what I'll do is look for those type of cars and just filter them out and not even click them. But when you're starting out, you can start clicking on like literally every single listing and seeing what's wrong with these cars, seeing what's up. So you kind of get better at that over time. Damn. Is that AI? I'm messing around. Okay, let's go to the next one. $2,000 for a Tahoe. These things go for a lot of money usually. The only problem, yeah, he says down payments at $2,000. But what I was gonna say is it's at a dealer, at an automotive repair, which we won't ever buy a car from a dealer because it's never gonna be worth it. This one, $1, we'll just click it and see what he actually wants for it if he says anything. He says or best offer and he has all these mods on it. I won't even message him because when they're mod out their cars, they usually want a lot of money from way more than they're worth. $800 for a van, this thing looks great. Let's see what's wrong with it. It actually looks pretty good. It's got some dings around the place. It's quite beat up. The miles aren't horrible. The interior is horrible. You can see that thing's just destroyed. But for $800, you could probably get it down to $600, $400. Right there, he shows the dash. There's some lights on the dash. This car, I might actually consider it. I wouldn't even really fix anything, and I'd just try and resell it for maybe $1,000 profit or something. But I'll go through again and look for the license plate. As you can see, it's kind of crumpled up. They didn't show it very well. Let's see if there's anything wrong with it on the Carfax. Right away, there's potential odometer rollback, which I'll show you in a second. But when we're looking at these Carfaxes, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm going through every car that I might actually buy and I'm getting a Carfax on it because you're gonna need one. And if you want one for completely free and you're serious about flipping cars, click the link in the description and I'll send you one over. I do pay a small fee for each one, so each person can only get one Carfax, but it's a free Carfax, might as well take it. So I'm just scrolling through. It looks like it had a lot of service in its early life, but that stuff doesn't matter as much. Right here, 200,000 miles. And then it says odometer rollback. So it goes back to 94,000 miles, meaning they switched the odometer or rolled it back, which means it says lower miles now. And then they're like, hey, I'm selling it for 169. But it literally has like 400,000 miles on it. And obviously in this listing, he says 190,000. Like he's just completely lying, or technically he might not know about it. But the way to know is he was the last owner, which it was rolled back when he registered it, meaning he probably bought it from someone that rolled it back. And now he has to deal with it. Maybe he doesn't even know. We don't know. So just because the odometer rollback, it's completely beat up. We don't want this car. That's all the listings we're going to be looking at. But if you want to see me look for even more listings, find better deals, give you even more tips about what to look for, check out this video. And as always, I'm wishing you a lucky day.